It's the Hot 100 countdown. We're going to count down all your Billboard charts.
All your Billboard charts, your Billboard farts, your A's, your asses, your B's, and your basses, right here on the Hot 100.
The Hot
100 hots. 100.
You already have yours open. So.
I already have mine open because I was testing. I was testing not just the audio of the show, but before we started, I was testing a whole bunch
by the way, I'm Steve.
I'm Chris, and I was testing a whole bunch of ciders. 100 ciders.
100 ciders for 100 ladies.
Oh, yeah. No, not 100. Not quite 100. Maybe 4 or 5?
Counting down to the next one. How the fuck am I supposed to go from an upbeat song to talking about a dead fucking dog?
City by the Bay, the city that rocks, the city that never sleeps. No.
My dick's all shitty. We're just all over the place.
Is this a good? Is it like if somebody asked like what's a good jumping on point? Is
episode 100?
Episode 100.
People
baby.
You don't know what they're talking about. They're just making references to songs and Casey Kasem,
City by the Bay,
swearing
the
about
a
dead fucking dog.
The city that never sleeps. I met him once.
You did?
Yeah.
Was he nice?
He was very nice. That's who? What's his name?
Casey Kasem.
No, that is Casey Kasem. I was thinking that was actually a bit from the Reservoir Dogs soundtrack, which is Steven
Wright.
Steven Wright, who I did meet Steven Wright once, but I've never met Casey Kasem.
Okay.
And I don't think I can anymore. I think he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Steven Wright's still alive. So.
Steven Wright's still alive.
I still got a shot.
Probably still a nice guy. He came into the Apple store where I worked.
Oh, was he lived? Oh yeah, he's pretty local.
Yeah, I don't know what he was getting checked out, but a friend of mine, a fellow coworker, was just completely geeking out about it and got his picture taken with Steven Wright. I think while my coworker was wearing his blue shirt, which technically is like a no-no, but as long as he didn't post it anywhere, I think he was fine. But you get a picture with Steven Wright, aren't you going to post it somewhere?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, he could have photoshopped the shirt.
Could have just take a little bit of what's that tool in a Photoshop? You just erase, blend
the apple,
dodge.
and then just like completely
make it a pear like my cider.
No, you can change the shirt to be like an orange shirt or something like that.
You could do that,
and then blend
color,
and then kind of
blend it,
get rid of the apple,
dodge it, or burn it. Or find and replace.
Sure.
Hot 100. Who uses the pear? The pear is on like Nickelodeon shows, I think. Nickelodeon shows, instead of an apple on the back of their fucking phones, it's a pear, which is stupid, but in Zootopia, it's a carrot on the back of Judy Hopps' phone, and that's charming. I don't know. I got a soft spot for rabbits, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Especially Jessica Rabbit.
Oh,
and her bazongas.
Oh my God, early crush right there. I got a thing for redheads, and
plus, so
probably started.
Did you get like little like you're older than me, so like it was a 10-year-old
chubby?
10-year-old boners.
Boner. Is chubby? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can call it boner chubby.
Just making sure. Did I get a boner from Jessica Rabbit?
Because John and I were a little bit too young.
Yeah, I might have. I don't know. Jessica Rabbit was about the right age to go, oh, that makes me feel weird things that Laura Ingalls has only made me feel before.
What?
She's a redhead. I'm telling you, it was a thing from like way back.
So you into Bill Burr too?
I think the only picture of Bill Burr I've ever seen is a black and white picture.
He is a redhead.
He is a redhead. Okay.
It'd be disappointing if you were just like creeping in his backyard and he kind of like looked in.
I mean, is there a fire down there, or is it like a dye job?
No, he's actually a redhead.
Okay, all right.
It'd be creepy if you were in like his backyard looking in through the window and you're like, I'm just checking in on you.
No, I not necessarily.
I made a jerk off motion you didn't see.
Not necessarily ginger-haired dudes.
Ginger-haired dudes tend to be just weird looking.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an element of,
I realize that's racist to say, but whatever.
Right, racist against gingers.
Yeah.
Ginger racist. Racist. Ginger racist.
Yep. How's that cider?
That cider is great. It's a pear. No, I tried 4 or 5 ciders before we got going. You guys had a number of ciders.
Yes, because we went to Far From the Tree, and we're going to give them a free plug because we never get paid to do plugs.
No. I mean, a free plug implies that we sometimes get paid for it.
Yeah, so we're going to give them a plug for no money because that's what we do.
No. I would love to get paid to plug things, but usually I'm paying to plug. Wait, did I
Butt plug?
say that out loud? Never paid to plug anybody.
Oh, okay. Good.
One way or the other. I mean, like, I never paid to plug anybody like with a gun. I'd never paid to plug.
I've never heard anybody refer to murder someone as plugging them.
You've never plug somebody like that's like plug them. I'm making a gun motion here with my fingers. Have
you ever used a gun?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I shot a .22 in Boy Scouts.
When? Was it a rifle or was it a rifle?
It was a rifle. Yeah, rifle in Boy Scouts. I believe I thought I was doing awesome, but I was actually aiming at someone else's target.
Oh.
Yeah. So like it was a practice range or whatever, and I remember looking through the sight, and I was like, wow, I've got like 4 or 5 bullseyes, and it was like the guy next to me.
And you didn't hit your target
Didn't
at
hit
all,
my
or
target.
his target.
It didn't hit. I might not have hit his either. Yeah, it might have been he was hitting his. Mine, my sight was over there.
Well,
and,
if you were hitting his and you were getting bullseyes, then you were doing well.
Yeah, I guess.
I only shot guns once, and it was handguns, but I was at a range.
Yeah,
up in Manchester, not by the sea.
I know the range of which you speak.
Near the airport.
Yes, I used to when I'd go on long walks from my house in Merrimack up to Manchester. I would walk by that range.
Wow, that is a long walk.
It's a very long walk. I would take like 14-mile walks. It was
that is a half marathon walk.
Yeah, I liked doing it. I wish that I wish that I had time and the energy to do it more. I was going to say because I was in the best shape of my life when I was doing that, but I wasn't. That was actually when I was starting to be in the worst shape of my life again, oddly.
How is that possible if you're walking 14 miles a day?
I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do 14 a day, but it would usually be like 14 a week because the comic book store, the nearest comic book store was in Manchester, and I would use it as an excuse to go get some exercise and get my comics, and it was fun.
Were they hot comics?
They were not hot comics. They were double midnight comics at that point.
Are they still double midnight comics?
I believe they're still in business. I don't know because
check them out too, but also check out Far From the Tree. It's a cidery. I don't know, like
cidery.
What do you call it when you make cider? Are you a ciderist?
A ciderist. I believe Dave Barry was a ciderist.
Yes, he wrote for the Miami Tribune.
Yeah.
Or Herald, Miami Herald.
Miami Herald.
And he got syndicated into blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I knew somebody who was obsessed with Dave Barry. And I don't remember who.
I was a fan, and we did talk about him on our 3rd episode.
Oh, really? That far back? I don't remember.
The reason why the episode is called Suicide Prevention and Urinal Etiquette, or is it the other way around?
Oh, that's right.
Urinal etiquette and suicide prevention is because of one of the articles that Dave Barry wrote, which was about urinal etiquette.
Urinal etiquette. Which is something I don't know. I see if
so go back to number 3, and
you should do that. But should we refresh on urinal etiquette?
No,
I mean, it's been a while.
Why don't they just go and listen to that? So we have people listening to 2 different episodes.
All right, you go back and have a listen. We're not gonna go over it again. I mean, I think urinal etiquette is a pretty important topic.
Yes, it's a hot topic.
It's a Hot 100.
Hot 100. I'm going to say 100 times hot.
100 times for the Hot 100. I'm Casey Kasem.
We're going around the Hot 100 track, and with all your favorite hits of the Hot 100. Fucking hell. I don't know, like I always wanted to work on the radio, and I always wanted, but like I don't know if I could have done shit like that.
Yeah, if you could have like said that shit with a straight face.
Yeah, without fucking like you heard how long it took me to start fucking laughing.
Would you have gotten as irate as Casey Kasem in that bit that you were referring to, where he's talking about transitioning to
from an upbeat number to a dead dog?
Yeah.
He was our favorite dog. His name was Fluffy. Unfortunately, he got hit by a car or some fucking thing, or like he died of bone cancer.
And now here are the Shirelles. No, I don't know if the Shirelles did upbeat numbers. I can't.
This is our long-distance tribute.
This is our long-distance dedication.
Yeah, sorry.
Get it right, Steve.
Sorry. We've been watching, we watched the first season of Ranma.
Oh, one half.
Yes.
Did you watch one half of it?
Most of the first
Most of the first season of Ranma one half.
The thing is, like, it's... I think this is probably why I sort of have... I don't have a Boston accent, but I do sound somewhat Canadian.
Okay.
Because of the amount of...
What are you talking about?
Well, come on. I watched a lot of anime in my formative years.
Yes.
A lot of which was dubbed.
A lot of which was dumb? Yes.
Dubbed in Vancouver.
Ah, the Canucks.
So therefore, I probably picked some of it up. So, and I also picked up, because we were watching it, and Ranma calls his dad Pop.
And I thought Ranma was the girl.
Well, you don't know the concept of the show?
No, you guys would have it on downstairs. I would be home from college, and there would just be like these big parties of my brother and you and all your friends, and that show would be on like 24/7, and I would just like retreat upstairs to my room and play Oregon Trail. Like I just
Oregon Trail
on my computer that I wasn't.
How many times did you die of dysentery?
Oh, still dying of dysentery. It's a long, slow death. No, but I was aware that Ranma was happening. And I react to it similarly to the way that I react to my wife binge watching the Secret Life of the American Teenager, which is the thing she found on Netflix and that she's currently binge watching now that I just don't understand.
The Secret Life is that she's not a teenager?
No. The Secret Life of the American Teenager is that everyone is obsessed with sex, which may or may not be true. But literally every conversation they're having as I walk in is about who they're gonna have sex with, like, and they're not like beating around the bush. No, they're not. They just are outwardly talking about I want to have sex with that person, and their mom is like, I don't want you having sex with that person. And
who talks about sex with their mom?
Everybody on this show. That's the Secret Life of the American Teenager. It's talking about sex with your moms, who happens to be Molly Ringwald.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Or the girl from Peyton Place. No, Melrose Place. I think she's on Melrose Place.
I don't know who you're
I don't know who that is either. But I feel like I've seen her before.
So we're watching that, and well, yeah,
American Teenager.
But no,
can you explain it to me?
We're watching Ranma.
Ranma.
So yeah, he, like Ranma calls his dad Pop, and that's how I guess that's how I started calling my dad Pop.
Okay.
Because
it just was a thing.
I just picked it up, and Ranma is a guy. Mm-hmm. And him and his father went to a training ground in China.
Okay. And
they each fell into a spring. And when they came out of the spring, Ranma turned into a girl, and his father turned into a panda bear. So whenever they're splashed with
so much.
Whenever they're splashed with cold water, they turn into their other form, and when they're like they get warm water on them, they change back.
So, like, do they spend most of their time as Ranma and Pop, or do they spend most of their time as girl Ranma and Panda Bear?
It depends. Like, there's always water nearby, so they're always falling into water at some point.
I mean, that's just, you know.
And at a certain point, his father just gives up and doesn't bother turning back into a person. Oh. And he carries around signs that he writes on.
I knew there was a Panda Bear, and I knew there was a girl, which, you know, who I assumed was Ranma. But that was about it.
He is he's half girl. That's why it's Ranma 1/2.
Ranma 1/2.
Get it?
I get it. And
pick it up on Blu-ray. It's wicked cheap and way, way less expensive than the VHS that I bought. That I think people like me, like, made Viz still able to exist. Like, because I was buying fucking Ranma VHS for $35 a piece for 2 episodes.
They were plugging you.
They were.
They were plugging
You're welcome, Viz Media.
Viz Media. So you're enjoying it? Is this the first time are you watching it with Becky?
Yes, I've seen it a million times.
Is she enjoying it?
Yeah, okay. I think. She actually suggested we watch it the other day. So that gave me an indication that she does enjoy it to a certain extent.
To a certain extent. Okay, that works. My wife and I don't watch anything together anymore. Because
you don't like to watch The Secret Life of American Teens?
I don't like to watch The Secret Life of the American Teenager. No, I can't stand it. Usually when last year when we moved into my parents' house, there was this period where we all would eat dinner and then we'd sit down and find something to watch together. Now this was
the four of you? Or the whole family?
The whole family. We would find something. It was usually a challenge, but we would find something.
I hope it wasn't Family Feud.
We do watch that sometimes. Good old Steve Harvey.
I don't know we were over one time. Yeah. And that was on, and your dad went on the crazy racist rant about Steve Harvey.
Yeah, it's.
Does he still do it?
I don't know if he does it as much. No, I don't think I've heard it.
Maybe not around I don't think the girls were around.
He's usually out. When Family Feud is on, my dad is usually out at the bar.
Okay,
he's usually having a couple.
I don't understand why he was so upset by Steve Harvey.
He's a black guy.
I see. That just
I think
must mean that I'm not racist. Because
I think casual racism was if that's a thing, was a thing in the 70s, and people, at least in my extended family, they don't think they're racist at all. In the same way that Donald Trump would say that he's not racist. Sorry for bringing up Trump. These guys. They are just naturally suspicious of anybody who's not white.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I don't know. I see him and I'm like, he's a funny dude. I mean, he's definitely manipulating the audience.
Sure.
In certain circumstances, but that's not because he's any sort of ethnicity. It's because he's fun. Playing up to the humor that he can
get away with on a show like Family Feud.
The thing is, he's a religious person, I think. So,
he
always gets appalled when somebody says something sexual. But, he totally just, here's a softball.
Yeah.
And then he gets all mad when people do it. He's like, I can't believe what's going on with you, whatever.
Yeah.
But, it's funny. When I was living up in Hudson with the old roommate, he and I used to watch it every afternoon after work. Just sit and watch freaking Family Feud.
It's a fun show. I mean, it's a dumb show, but it's fun to sit there and at that point in the day, at 4 or 5 o'clock, it's just brainless fun.
Yeah,
and that is perfectly fine.
PhD in dong.
But when I sit down to spend time actually watching a show, like Family Feud, I might have my phone out, I might be talking with the kids and half paying attention. When I sit down to watch a show, I am not sitting down to watch The Secret Life of the American Teenager. I'm sitting down to watch Game of Thrones, or I'm sitting down to watch, I've been watching Preacher a little bit, although I can't stand the commercials, so I might just wait till it's on Netflix and the commercials are gone. I'll sit down to watch...
Oh, come on, they're just going to preview the next season of The Walking Dead or whatever other show is going to be on, over the summer.
No, I watch it through the AMC app on my Apple TV, and I get... the obnoxious, just dumb commercials, the kind of stuff that you get on Hulu if you're not a Hulu.
I have
whatever.
Hulu.
Well, but
we were watching Rick and Morty when you came in.
But do you have the one where there are no commercials? You have the one.
No, I'm not going to not pay for commercials. The commercials are not frequent enough for me to
I'll tell you something, Steve.
What's that?
Any commercial is too frequent enough. I don't ever want to see a single commercial ever again in my life. I don't want to see ads. I don't want to be sold to at all.
Well, the thing is, most of the time, or with at least the ones on Hulu, I see them so frequently.
Yeah.
Not that they're playing them at regular intervals,
right,
but they're playing them every break.
Yeah.
Usually, so whatever ads we're seeing, I typically don't want any of that ever because I see it so much. I'm burnt out on it.
Yeah.
So anybody that's out there listening in advertising land, don't play ads so much, so I won't hate your product.
Right. And well. And podcast ads don't bother me as much because generally podcast ads are done by people, like they're done as live reads or they're done as reads sort of like right after the show ends, and they're done by the people doing
or
the show.
Or in the middle of the show.
Right.
Bill Burr always gets in trouble with the advertisers when he does like crazy fucking reads, when he's doing Club W, when he's doing George Bush impression.
But that stuff, like, I still don't like those ads. I don't like ads at all. But those are at least tolerable because there's a bit of personality behind them.
But then that's one of the things, like, it makes people actually listen to the ads. So, like, normally I would be like, ugh, I'll just skip over this. But he's like, he's every time he does an ad, he gets in trouble with the people he's advertising for. Because he's just like... He's like, stop putting fucking words in my mouth. You have a product that I like, and I'm fucking gonna advertise, but don't say that I'm gonna that I fucking came up with this promotion or some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's anyway. So the walking the preacher ads. What is the worst about them is that the thing that's true on TV is doubly true on this streaming app, which is that the volume of the ads is about 2 to 3 times what the volume of the show is. So I'll have to have the show cranked just to hear it, and then the moment the ad comes on, my speakers are like near breaking because it's so damn loud. So all this is coming back to...
And you're watching it on the Apple TV, so you're actually watching it on the television.
Yeah.
So they're actually breaking the law.
Are they?
Because if it's on television, I think the ads are not supposed to be significantly louder than the program.
But if it's through if the Apple TV is technically a computer, right?
Hey kid, I'm a computer.
At any rate, my wife and I don't watch the same shows. Like, I think she tried to watch an episode of Game of Thrones at some point, and the first episode, and it wasn't enough to hook her.
Hooker?
TJ?
No, there's plenty of hookers in that show. Prostitutes.
Yes. Although not so much since Littlefinger left. Spoilers from like season 3, right? Like when did Littlefinger leave? What's not Westeros? What the fucking capital?
The capital. Let's just say that. So we're not going to search for it for the rest of the.
Yeah.
Hey. We get emails.
We do get emails. We were going to start with the emails, but we
ended up talking about Hot 100.
Hot 100. I got a question for you later about the Hot 100.
Hot 100.
Maybe we will get to it. Maybe not. We do have an email. We have.
Stop it. It's great that you have a printer and you printed out the email.
Here's the thing. I discovered that if I print from one of my iOS devices, I get this nice, like, big type that I can read without needing to feel like an old man. But if I print from my Mac, it comes out in like this tiny font about the size. Like, I know nobody in the audience can see this, but like the font.
Do you want me to describe how small it is?
You see how small that font is?
It's small.
It's small. So when I print from my Mac, the header information.
So that's like probably like a size 12 or 13 font there.
Yes, it's very, very nice. It's nice and big, just the way I like it.
All right, well, read the email, sir.
We got an email from friend of the show, Leo, with the subject line 100th episode.
Which is the one we're on. So it's a good thing we're not skipping this email.
I know, it's a very good thing. Reads, hey guys, so this was supposed to be a gushing email about how much I have enjoyed the past 99 episodes. However,
I hate your show and I want you to die. And I'm no longer gushing from my vagina hole.
I did not know that about Leo.
He's Leo one half.
He's Leo. Title. Leo. I can't stop thinking about the vagina between Leo's legs.
Well, you and me both, buddy.
Oh shit.
Do we need to pause it?
No, I'm good. However, Chris had to mention in the previous episode how he enjoys reading the last page of a book first. What the fuck?
Whoa.
Well, there's an exclamation point followed by a question mark followed by an exclamation point followed by a question mark. Me with
that's
my
like
with
that's
my
an
theatrical-
interrobang if you're unfamiliar.
Well, I am familiar with an interrobang, but that's not an interrobang. You would have to do like alt function like 696 or something like that to get that. I don't know what the code is, but there's
that is a crazy code to get an interrobang.
I know. The fact that there is such a thing as an interrobang is pretty crazy too.
It was invented by advertisers.
Interrobang. Fuck advertisers.
Fucking interrobang, apparently.
I assumed, partially based on the fact that we've got an exclamation point first before the question mark, that I was supposed to deliver it with the
what the fuck?
All right, no, that's a good one. What the fuck, or what the fuck?
And stop reading that line and go.
What the fuck?
Continue.
Steve!
Yes.
How did you not address how fucked up this is?
So, pause.
Okay, pausing.
I don't think it's necessarily fucked up.
Uh-oh. You gotta get an email now.
I think, well, I don't do it personally, but like if you're reading a story or experiencing something, and you find out, like when we were watching One Piece. I'm just gonna do One Piece spoilers here.
Okay, hold on.
Fucking at a certain point, if you've never read or watched the show, you're about to be spoiled.
Okay.
Ace dies. And if you don't know that up to a certain point,
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, well then this ruins the whole story for me. No, it doesn't. How do you get to that point where Ace dies? Fucking, and then still more story happens after that happens.
Spoilers. Jesus gets nailed to a cross.
Yes. You don't have to bring religion into it. But the thing is, like, it's about the journey and not the destination. So if you find out what the destination is, it's kind of interesting to figure out how you get there.
I actually have a harder time enjoying things when I don't know the destination.
That may be why you do that.
Yeah. So,
But in certain books, I think Breakfast of Champions is one of them. They like Vonnegut tells you how the story ends in the first chapter.
It's an exercise that I give my students. And it is to reveal what you think is the ending, reveal what you think is the big reveal right in the first sentence, and then tell us how you get there. I mean, Eugenides in Middlesex does a version of this where the narrator of Middlesex begins, "I was born twice." First as I can't remember all of it, but basically reveals that this is somebody who is born identified as a girl, and it's a book about a pseudo-hermaphrodite, and gives away the fact that halfway through the book you're going to find out that this person is a hermaphrodite, right in the first sentence. But for
so what
me,
was the name of the person that wrote that book?
Jeffrey Eugenides.
So Jeffrey Eugenides 1/2.
True that. So anyway, case in point, most recently, and I think I talked about this when we talked about the movie. When I went to go see Captain America: Civil War, I went in.
And you were like, I don't need this, but I'm going to watch it anyway.
I almost stepped on the joke. Almost. It was like the dog shit that was on the path this morning when I was taking my walk. I almost stepped in it. Didn't. That was pretty funny.
You're gonna step in it. You're gonna go the whole route and just kind of grind your heel into it.
Oh yeah, right there. That's what I.
And then when you get
do.
home, your dad's like, "What smells like shit?"
That's what I usually do with your jokes. Is I usually step all the way in it, and you're so frustrated you can smell how bad I did it.
I'm gonna throw one of my empty Gansets at your head.
I went to go see Civil War, and I went in purposefully not spoiling a bunch of it for myself. And I actually, I really liked it, but I enjoyed it less because I was so, waiting for what the twists and turns were going to be. And when I saw it the second time, I loved it. I was no longer uncertain about whether I liked it as a movie because there was no sort of waiting for what the hell is the twist going to be. It just, there it was. And I think part of that, for me as somebody who loves short stories, I'll very often kind of read the end of that because short stories, I've always equated short stories and films. And and I equate TV series and books, right? And I'm trying to make a fucking point here, and I've had some cider. I'm doing a wonderful job. Without
Finish the fucking story.
Without spoiling anything about what happened in last night's Game of Thrones. I no longer watch that like waiting for what the big twists are going to be. I just know because
you don't want to talk about the scene where the dragons have three-way dragon gangbang.
Steve,
brother dragon
there might be
gangbang.
Somebody out there who hasn't seen it. Damn it, Steve.
Breathing fire into each other's assholes.
Did you have to get into all the particulars? I mean, there is that fucking.
It's too bad. Missed it. I ruined it all.
Drogon, really enjoyed that. Is it Drogon? Is Drogon one of them?
I don't know.
What
am I, the master of dragon names?
The master of puppets. I got a story about that. Maybe.
About Metallica or
about
puppets?
Master of Puppets.
Or the song in particular.
Yes. Okay. Wrap up the story, Chris. Wrap up the
story.
But
what I was saying about One Piece, and you don't have to drink again.
Okay.
Is that like things like that, like with an epic story like this that spans that's been going on since 1997?
Yes.
It's impossible for you to not somehow get spoiled about part of the story. But it's also like if you do get spoiled from that thing, it's fun to figure out how did I get here?
Yeah.
Letting the days go by.
Game of Thrones has become a thing where you expect there to be surprises. And so you just know that there's going to be surprises, there are going to be twists, there are going to be turns, and you just know that that's going to happen, and you're along for the ride, and you've been surprised so many times now that you also, after 7 seasons, 7? 6? Are we in 6?
I think this was
5 or 5. Wherever
I think
we're
we
at.
just finished 6.
Okay, so wherever we're at, it's season 6. After 6 seasons, you kind of know that that episode 9 is going to be where like the shit hits the fan and something just
Actually,
like
it might have been 7 because season 1 was one season, or was the first book, like pretty much word for word.
Right.
And season 2 was the second book, but then some other stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, I've got a lot of them here. And then season 3 and 4 were the third book.
Okay.
And I think season 4 was the 5th book, and then season
5 was the 5th.
Season 5 was the 4th book. Wait.
I'm gonna see if I can get it up on my HBO now. It'll tell me.
It'll tell you which book it was related to?
No. Fucking hell. I'm not logged in.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Well, I don't know. Somebody can correct me because I'm obviously screwing something up.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, what I was gonna say is like it's become pretty obvious by now. The episode 9 of any season is going to be where like the big bombastic visual thing happens, and then episode 10 is always
Mr. Bombastic, very fantastic, Mr. Lover.
And Game of Thrones. How many seasons? This might be
Forbes.com, of course.
It might be an older article. Fuck. And it's just giving me a goddamn fuck. I don't care. I've already made my point, right? Like okay, so
you're making my point.
I like to read the endings of things because I absolutely believe it's about the journey, not the destination. And I think that's that. If you don't buy into that, like you're gonna think I'm heinous for doing what I do.
And so Leo obviously does not buy into that theory.
Yes, because Leo he said, "Seriously, Chris, do you torture animals and wet the bed too?"
He tortures them
and yes
by laying on them. Wait, you don't torture animals, which is good, but you wet the bed?
It depends on what, like, what. I have some nasty dreams, is what I'm saying. Does that count as wetting the bed?
Piss dreams?
No. You are starting to sound like one of the perps on those police procedurals you hate. And it just sounded more like one just now.
Yeah, because you're having piss dreams.
I'm not having piss dreams. I'm like a 38, almost 39-year-old man who occasionally has the wet dream still.
Wow, really? Really?
Yeah.
You need to have a little me time so you don't have that happen.
Maybe.
So it's like regulated.
I guess.
Can you do it in the toilet, or is that just not cool?
I have done it into the toilet before.
Just think of Jessica Rabbit, your first beau.
You're starting to sound like one of the perps on those police procedurals you hate. If you think of Jessica Rabbit while jerking off on the toilet, I think you are definitely a perp on a police procedural waiting to happen.
Yep. Well, it's better than jerking off or I don't know. It's better to do that than committing sexual assault.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
It's better to jerk off than a lot of things, I think.
Yes.
Jerking off is jerking off, diddling yourself. It's double clicking your mouse. It's the ladies might be a euphemism. Double clicking on my Mizhouse. Upgrade my system at least twice a day. I'm strictly Y2K. No, I'm strictly plug and play. I ain't afraid of Y2K.
Is that the Weird Al one?
I'm down with Bill Gates. I call him money for short. Phone him up at home and I make him do my tech support.
He's going to be at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium sometime in the fall, I think.
When's he going to get out of his record contract? That's what I want to know.
That's Kesha.
No. Al, it was an interview. I don't know where it was. I'm not finding it for the show notes, which will be at clarkwoods.com/100. He has talked about the fact that if he weren't still in a record contract, he would be able to do what he does a lot quicker, right? Because he would be able to, a song comes out, he can parody it and get it out there and up for sale like right away. But that's not the way records work. They want a whole album and da 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 da. But I think he's still got a couple.
Was it last summer or was it even? No, it was not even last summer. It was the summer before. Like the summer of
Summer Love,
2014.
Mm-hmm. When we started the show.
Yes, when that album came out.
Oh yes, not Bad Hair Day. That was
Mandatory Fun or something.
Mandatory Fun. Yes.
So yeah, that's the last time he released an album. He could at least release one a year, for crying out loud.
He probably did in like the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know. We can look at his discography.
But I think the thing is if he's forced to put out an album's worth of material, then I think it suffers a little bit. If he could be the sort of person that put out a song and a YouTube video like once every 6 months or once every couple of months, like I think he would be able to focus more and make an awesome one instead of just churning out enough stuff plus another polka to put an album out.
See, I like his polka medleys. I like
the polka medleys.
I like his style parodies more than his actual parodies.
Yes, I think Germs from Bad Hair Day is one of his because as a Nine Inch Nails fan, I find it hilarious because it so captures.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. It so captures the sort of Trent Reznor cliches. It's great.
I think he did in the same album. He did a sort of "They Might Be Giants" kind of parody as well. Although it wasn't, it was in the style of
it was a pastiche.
Just like on what was it, Polka Party? He did a one that was in the style of the Talking Heads, which it was called like Dog Eat Dog. But it was he was doing like David Byrne tropes when he was just like, ha ha, hey.
Well, and on the most recent one he did with Amanda Palmer, they did a Pixies pastiche, which was pretty good. Anyway.
That's great. Weird Al.
Back to Leo. You have said some messed up shit over the past few years.
Now we said some messed up shit. We talked about Weird Al for 5 minutes.
Yes, I talked about not masturbating.
Masturbating Weird Al.
Oh gosh. I don't know if you could. I could. What must it be like to have sex with Weird Al? Like, could he
ask his wife?
I don't know. Would it be like I could imagine?
Do you think we can get her on the show?
I don't know.
Hey, Weird Al's wife. What's it like to have sex with Weird Al?
I didn't know.
What are we, Howard Stern now?
I didn't know he was married.
Ooh, Robin! I invented sex with Weird Al. I didn't even try to do a fucking Stern.
Ooh. Didn't he come out in support of Trump recently?
Weird Al?
No, Howard.
I try not to pay attention to too many things that he says.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I don't know. I don't know. You have said some messed up shit over the past few years, but that one takes the cake. Get help, dude, before you end up making lampshades out of human skin. Oh yeah, congrats on 100. You guys are the dog's tits.
Is that a good thing?
I think so. Dog has a bunch of tits, right?
How about the bitch's tits?
I think that's a little. I don't know. I feel like that might be offensive
to lady dogs,
to lady dogs, to female human beings who've been called bitches.
I've been called a bitch, and I'm not a female.
You're not female. You're not.
I'm not a female.
Have I given this rant?
Go.
I probably have. No, I just. I know I have. I hate the use of female and females as a replacement for, like, I'm gonna go out with my females tonight. No,
I've never said that.
I know you've never said that, but I've heard that sort of thing said. Where are all my females at? No, I haven't heard a ton of it, but I've heard enough people use females, in that way as a noun, as opposed to as an adjective, and it doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what it is.
Does it sit well?
No, doesn't do that either.
Okay, so
you went someplace and we never really talked about it.
Yeah, we got time.
We got time.
Peek around the corner.
Yeah, we got time.
So we like the Far From the Tree, the cider that you were trying,
Yes.
the many ciders.
Yes.
Is in Salem, Massachusetts, home of witches.
Yes.
And titties. Witches, bitch titties.
Witches, bitches, witch titties?
Bitches, witch titties. Colder than a bitch witch tit.
Okay.
Actually, it was kind of warm that day.
Yeah, it has been pretty warm.
Now it's the summertime.
In the summertime, when the weather is hot.
I'm not gonna engage. So yeah, and then
Stevie's ball sack's a really cool spot.
That's water country.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, I thought you were singing the Mungo Jerry song.
No, we have this. That's gotta be a drinking thing too, because
every time I get confused,
I'm thinking of the water country song, and you're thinking of that song, and it's every single time.
I'm thinking of an actual song. You're thinking of an ad, which you hate. So we went to someplace that I've been excited to go to for a while, and like the time I went to Quarters out in Hadley, I was disappointed.
Okay.
We've been waiting for the Bit Bar to open.
Okay.
In Salem for a while, and we went, and we were thoroughly underwhelmed.
Thoroughly.
Yes. I mean, we went there, the food was all right, but the fact that there was food was just like, why? Why not just have it be a bar where you have arcades? Like, why do you have to have a kitchen?
Yeah.
Demolish the fucking kitchen, either that or like demolish half of it and then deep fry things and then sell them to people for too much money.
What would you put in place of the kitchen? You wanted more bar, more arcade games?
More pinball, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
Well, they had 3 pinball machines. They had Cue Ball Wizard, which
I don't know much about barcades, but 3 pinball machines does not seem...
It's not sufficient for me, because I'm a pinball person.
Would you go so far as to say you're a pinball wizard?
No. So they had 3 pinball machines. They had one. It was a Cue Ball Wizard, and it had like a cue ball in it, and it was a Gottlieb, and I'm not a big fan of Gottliebs.
Okay.
As a matter of principle, and they had Hook, which
like Hook from like Robin Williams, Dennis.
I'm shaking my head in agreement.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
That movie Hook pinball machine, which is one of those ones that like feeds to upper pop bumpers and then causes immediate drains. And if you don't know what I'm saying, then play more pinball.
Wow, that is schooled.
And then they had Cyclone, which, if you're familiar with Mr. Bungle is heavily sampled in their first album.
Oh, okay. I know the name Mr. Bungle, but I am not familiar with their work.
But that one was broken. And so like we played a little bit of one of the 3 games, but then we couldn't, because there was always somebody at one of the 2 open pinball machines, and so we were like, fuck.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, oh, well, we finally got to talk to the owner, like
Yeah.
after talking to our waitress for a little bit. And we were like, what's going on? Why not more pinball? And he's like, well, we're thinking about getting one more. I'm like, one more? Come on, dude. Like,
does one more cut it? I mean, would 4 bring it like above like a certain threshold for you, or is 4 still?
it's better, and then
Yeah.
I might get a chance to actually play one of the pinball machines. But it was just like, and then we brought up the Arcadia National Bar up there in Portland, and he says, yeah, I've been there. I don't like it. Or I think he said he hated it.
Oh,
and I was just
strong words.
I'm like, whoa.
Them's
like,
fighting words.
I'm like, you're talking to people that are your customers, one.
Yeah.
Like these people that are basically here the fucking week or the first weekend you're open.
That you're open, yeah.
And, are like excited and passionate about the fucking thing that you have here. And then you're just kind of like saying, oh, that thing that you like up there, that, I mean, why the hell would we have brought it up if we didn't think it was good?
Yeah. And he's disparaging. I mean, was it like a?
I think it was. I don't know. I think he might have thought it was too small. But like it is. It's small. But they have fuck tons of pinball machines.
Yeah. Well,
in a rather small area, and it's not. It doesn't feel claustrophobic, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, the opinionated bar owner, comic book store owner, arcade owner, like that's a. I feel like that's always been a thing. Like the person who like has to shit on other things because if they feel like that's that part of their personality. And was this like was he kind of like the comic book guy from The Simpsons? Was he a little?
I don't know. Like he seemed too. He looked like a normal, like a guy. Like if you were to describe a normal Caucasian male,
like a guy,
you might describe this guy
like a male.
Yes. Stupid men in their barcades.
I don't hate men. I hate males.
Oh, fuck you. So yeah, I mean, I'd say if you're in the area, go and check it out and complain just like we did about it not having enough pinball machines,
and see if that makes
see if it makes any goddamn difference.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Like they're still working out the kinks, and we will go back.
Okay.
And
so it wasn't so terrible that you'll never go back.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want to give it another chance. So, fucking, if you're listening, and we'll probably have some sort of hashtag bitbar when we post the show.
Yeah.
If you're listening, fucking listen a little harder, and then try to, like, because, like, after and I had to, when Becky and I were first there, I had to say it's not you, it's them, as far as because like the crowd that was there is the kind of crowd that enjoys The Big Bang Theory, and I see she enjoys it, and I'm like, you are the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, my parents enjoy it, and they're my parents.
And I'm like, once that crowd decides they don't want to go there anymore, which is probably going to be immediately, the only people that you're going to have left are people that are going to be like crazy passionate about certain things. And there's a lot more, and I think it's growing at this point, people that are really passionate about playing pinball and not freaking arcades. I mean, like, it's fine if you have like, a bunch of old arcades, but there's some that are going to just collect dust. And there's some that people are going to play a lot. People are going to play Donkey Kong a lot. People are going to play Pac-Man a lot.
Yeah.
People will play maybe Dig Dug. But like some of the other ones, people aren't going to give a shit about. Like Space Invaders, that's a good one to have.
Yeah.
Like, The Simpsons and Ninja Turtles, like 4-player stand-ups.
Sure.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah. But like some of them, and the 90s fighting games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Keep those around.
Absolutely. But
other than the things that I listed, then just get fucking pinball. Like,
I'm with you. I mean, I suck at pinball, but I would think that would be your better bet.
Plus, you can have tournaments. You can have people having tournaments for like the stand-up arcades. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Like the people that are exceptional at these games, unless the prize is like, you know, something that Billy Mitchell is going to show up for, which would have to be like at least dozens of dollars at this point.
Least.
I don't know how his hot sauce business is doing, but someone will have to fill us in.
Anyone give him an enema with that hot sauce?
That was my old show.
I know.
I don't even know if it's still posted. I know that the older episodes, the last 5 or so of Simulated Itch Relief are still up there.
Are still there, yeah.
But I don't know if Hot Sauce Enema still exists on the internet anymore.
I remember when we first started talking about doing the show, like I went looking for whether or not I had the earlier episodes of Simulated, yeah, on my hard drive, and I didn't. And I finally I've been cleaning out hard drives that just don't work anymore now that my computer's been fixed, and yeah, they're all gone.
No, I have some. The only one I don't have is the first episode.
Oh, really? You managed to track down the rest of them?
Steve. His name was on the show. Steve Murphy.
Yeah.
Of the show of Simulated Itch Relief fame, and him and Mike did a show called How to Get Chicks, which is on the iTunes as well. Go check it out. They haven't done a new one in a while, but if you're familiar with Jack Chick, he does these like sort of, well, they are uber religious propaganda comics. That are about yay big. And
yay big.
I didn't
look about as big as a Tijuana Bible.
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
So it's just a little comic book that's just like crazy religious propaganda, and they do like a literary reading of these comics. And I was on one episode for the long trip. So if you want to listen to me talk about religion for approximately an hour,
that could be a hoot. We've never talked about religion all that much, have we?
I think we did a little bit.
Probably somewhere.
About how neither of us really.
Yeah. Now I'm looking over Leo's email. I'm like, is that one of the dumb things that I've said some fucked up things over the years?
Yes.
Yeah. Am I gonna make a lampshade Am I gonna make a lampshade out of human skin because I'm an atheist? Is that part of?
No.
Just because I'm.
I think just because you're an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
Definitely, you have to drink there.
There was a Patton Oswalt bit that I referenced that I passed up earlier. Just so you all know, you can drink. You can drink for that if you'd like.
So I'm just saying, the folks at the Bit Bar, fucking, if you do end up listening because we mentioned you in the tweet or whatever,
yes,
just don't shrug off things like that so readily. Just haphazardly. Thank you.
Sure.
Just listen to your people that
listen to your heart,
that want to fucking like your fucking business. I don't know.
It sounds like a frustrating experience because you are into the thing and you've been waiting a while. How long had it been that you'd kind of like had it on your radar to go there?
At least a couple of months.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it may be since March, maybe February, March, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's been a while, and we were expecting better.
Yeah,
it's about. And they had like their menu was like they had interesting things, but it was like they had like a chorizo corn dog.
Okay.
And I'm like, why not just have a corn dog?
Yeah.
Save yourself the fucking money on the front end, or like coming in, and just fucking buy some corn dogs and deep fry them and then sell them to people for too much money that are drunk at your fucking parkade.
Chorizo corn dog, and I'm not trying to be offensive I'm not trying to be hipster racist here, but but chorizo corn dog feels to me like a hipster thing.
It is. Everything on the menu, like if you've seen what is it? The second what's the Glee movie?
I was not aware there was a Glee movie.
It's not a Glee movie. Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect 2. Although
Electric Boogaloo.
The what is it? Key and Peele, whatever. I think it's Key
Yes.
or Peele. I don't know. Whatever. Which I don't know which is
Kanye
which.
the Giant.
It's not Kanye the Giant. The other guy.
Okay.
He is a record producer in the movie.
Okay.
And he, like, there's one of the guys, he's like, oh, I'm just going to eat my lunch. Let me get my sriracha. And then, like, he's like, I swear to God, if you say one more hipster thing.
I didn't even know what sriracha is. I think I heard, I heard it on a podcast. I did not hear it at my mini high school reunion this weekend. Because I don't think anybody there was a sriracha person.
But the thing is, like,
we had hamburgers with ketchup on them.
No, but the thing is, like, the things that they had there, I mean, the burger I had was pretty much a normal burger, but they had, like, elk burger, and it's just, like, they just have things on the menu that, like, I'm like, great, it's, like, very, very hipstery, and it's fine. Why not just fucking have deep-fried food, like chicken fingers, French fries, like, things you can
put in
boil,
some more fucking pinball machines.
Boil some, like cut the kitchen in half because you don't need a huge kitchen to deep fry things.
Right.
All you need is a fryer-later and
Yeah.
and somebody that doesn't mind like copious amounts of acne or acne.
Is that what those people did? I always wondered the people who had like the shit tons of acne. Were they the ones working the fryer-later at the Mickey D's or the BK?
I definitely, like, the very limited amount of time I worked at Wendy's. I worked the frying up burgers.
And
I definitely
don't cut corners there.
What?
They don't cut corners there.
Yeah, because the burgers are square. I wish we could just end the show there. But yeah, like from the 1 or 2 days I worked the grill, and then I quit. Or well, what is known, and if you don't know this story, then go back and listen to all our shows and figure out which one I talked about it in. I steved that job.
The Steving of Jobs. That's the title.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
The Steving of, it's like within the first 10, I think.
God damn it.
The Steving of Jobs. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to remember that. If I was supposed to keep it to myself.
Listen to that episode, and then you'll understand what steving a job means. I'm just plugging your own fucking show in this one.
It's always best when you plug yourself.
Gross.
Maybe that's why I'm having so many wet dreams.
What the fuck was I talking about?
I don't know. Steving the job at Wendy's.
So yeah, I know, but why was I talking about that?
Because we were talking about fryer-laters. We were talking about
because
acne.
I got acne. I definitely got more pimples working that job because there was so much like burger grease like floating up into my face.
Yeah.
I felt gross after working there, working the grill.
Should people work in the grill at those places like get to wear a face mask in the way that...
Well, I didn't have a beard back then, so it wasn't like my facial hair was...
Why didn't you?
No, I didn't have a beard back then.
Why didn't you?
Because I was... What was it? 18, 19, something like that?
You could have grown a beard at 18, 19.
I don't know. I think there was a couple of times where I attempted...
You tried it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't coming in like it does now.
Yeah. Mine still doesn't.
I wasn't enough of a man back then.
Mine still doesn't come in all that well, which I guess means I'm still not enough of a man. Oh.
Are we done with the show? Are we good?
We're pretty much done with the show. I didn't get to share my story, but
you want to tell your story?
It wasn't all that interesting. No, I went to. My friend Brendan had a. He does this once a year. A mini high school reunion. We had
say
that
we talked about it, and they'll listen to the goddamn show again.
They did. They were people who had listened to the show because they had listened to the episode, "The Hottest Guy in the Room," where the hottest guy in the room story happened, and that story got repeated a couple of times over the course of the day. And I was criticized for not starting that story early enough. That there were bits of it that I missed that I should have included. And what it really
was, there a little bit of sexual tension that you left out or something?
Maybe there was a bit of basically what my friend Brendan, who he was the one who did the telling of the story on Saturday. What he said that I left out that was important was when I walked in, I was really nervous. I texted Brendan to make sure that he was... This is my high school reunion back in November.
She took me in and made me breakfast.
So Brendan was there, and I texted him. I wasn't sure I wanted to go. I texted him, make sure he was there. He was there. I walked in. I was still really nervous. Never been to a reunion before. And
American reunion?
Next time.
A girl, a woman, a female classmate of mine walks up
Lady.
to me. She starts talking to me, and then at some point mistakenly calls me Steve.
Did you think you were me?
No. She just thought my name was Steve, and so Brendan thought this part was hilarious in terms
It's
of
Adam and
setting up-
Eve, not Adam and Steve, Chris.
He thought this part was hilarious and set up the later bit of the story because I was already sort of I was nervous. I came in and it was the absolute like thing that would have happened on a sitcom is that guy who's nervous to go to a reunion goes in, has a great conversation, and then gets called the wrong name.
The guy the name of the guy that you do a podcast with.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's
Was she expecting you to be funnier?
I don't know how anybody could. I don't know how anybody could. As I said before, you can find the show. It was a good reunion, and maybe I'll think of something.
You did talk about it, so
I
you
did
can
talk
tell them
about
you
it.
talked about it. They'll have to listen to the whole fucking thing, and then we talk about it for 5 seconds at the end of the show.
So you can find the show notes for this episode, such as they will be, since this is Monday night, and I have to go put the whole thing together in the next
We talked about stuff.
3 hours.
Post.
You can find those at clarkwoods.com/hot/100. 100.
If you've listened to all 100, you get a
gold
you get a
star.
little gold star on a slate.
We'll clap.
Little golf clap for you because I don't want to blow up the mics. Enough.
What does that remind you of?
Slapping butts. Clapping butts.
Plug-in. You can send us email about everything we've gotten wrong this episode or any of the previous 100 episodes. You can send that email to hot@clarkwoods.com.
Or you can contact us via Twitter. I am at ECC1977.
And I am at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, I-S Loser, all one word.
Cool. Or you could
Or you
email
could forget-
Chris's other account at OPTC Spam 69.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Because he plays lots of One Piece Treasure Cruise.
I do.
Finds lots of transponder snails.
Did I ever try that? Was that one that I tried?
You did try, and you were like,
and
I
was
can't,
like,
I can't do this
I can't
timing
do it.
thing.
It's so complicated. We set up our Wii, that's my parents' Wii in the new room that's finally finished, and we set that up, and I was trying to play some games today. And I was mostly just getting frustrated with trying to transfer data from my Wii over to my parents' Wii, because, you know, we all the way home.
I had a really easy time transferring the data from my Wii to my Wii U. And there was like little Pikmin carrying all the programs.
I just must have done it wrong.
Yeah, you're trying to get things from one like archaic system to the next or another one instead of going to the next step up.
Yeah, well, I'm broke.
Well, just to enter a contest to win the Wii U instead of the Wii.
Get plenty of ads in my inbox because I love ads.
Yes. We can't end the show like that.
Can't end the show like that. There's got to be something funnier to say. I don't know what that thing might be.
So I hope that you all,
I hope you
all enjoyed the show. Now go and double click your mouse.
double click on your mouse. Why did I say anything? I could have just stopped it when you said double click on your mouse.
Clang your huge tits together.